Hey guys, it's me Mahesh and Little Perry here. Today we are talking to you about Mental Health Awareness Week, and this week in the UK it's been a hot topic because Mental Health Awareness Week really is at the forefront of what people are talking about on social media and on the national news, and it's a really way of people coming out, especially people who are in the mainstream, who are in the public eye, coming out and saying that I too have suffered, and you're not alone. Now, to say that you're not alone doesn't necessarily mean that it makes you feel any better. Just because somebody else is in pain and is suffering doesn't relieve yours. But what it does do is it gives you an understanding that you definitely aren't the only person in the world that is dealing with the issue that you're dealing with. Now, we are all individual and everything is unique about us. So the way that I feel when I've suffered with deep depression and had such dark times doesn't feel the same as you guys out there. But the key point is that there is a road to recovery. There is a path to well-being, and whether you're in the right place to hear this right now or not, please be aware and please be mindful that every sensation, every emotion, every thought that we have is a transient one. Nothing lasts forever. The highs and the lows. So if you are feeling unwell, if you're feeling that you're in a dark space, that you feel that you are trapped by your thoughts and your mind, there is a way out. There is help. There is space within you that will help you to recovery. Now, my analogy for how I've always felt is that I always, right up until I was in my mid-20s, I always was of the mindset that, you just need to pull yourself together, and, it was really something not to worry about. Depression really, or sadness was something that really didn't exist until it happened to me, and it hit me like a lightning bolt, and I didn't realise that I was quite so vulnerable. And I think that's part of it, is the vulnerability, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and expressing that through the sense that you understand that you are a vulnerable soul. You can be affected by other people, but it's about trying to learn and understand how that what people do around you is just their behaviour. How you act is just behaviour. It's not really truly who you are or who they are. It's just a behavioural pattern. And how I always saw this for me was it's a bit like being an alcoholic, really. It's the only way I can think of it, and in my analogy, and I'm not an alcoholic, and for the users out there, I hope you don't take offence of me using this as an analogy, but once you are an alcoholic, you're always on the wagon, and you are you're always in sobriety. And I feel like that with how I am, is that now I've felt that dark time. There's always a space where it may come back, and so I have to be mindful every day of this. I have to recognise what's happening to me in my body. I have to recognise what's happening to me in my mind, and understand that I am not my thoughts. They are transient. They will come in and they will go out. And so, in that way, that's how I see it. I see that I'm on the wagon. I feel okay. I feel well. I'm aware of what's coming in and out of my thought cycle, and I'm conscious of that. So it will always be there maybe for you, but it will become more and more of a distant thought pattern, and it will become more and more distant from you. You know, your depression, your sadness, your loneliness will ebb away from you, like it has for me. And occasionally, you know, I edge towards back to it, but I realise that that's happening, and I take the precautions that are needed, which is, you know, check my diet, check my sleep pattern, check who I'm spending time with, check that I'm spending time with myself, and most importantly, you know, check in with my body and my mind and get that connection. So I hope that at the beginning of this, you took a you know, a standpoint that, you know, whether you are suffering from mental health or not, that there's plenty of us out there that in some way or another are or have. And it's so important for us to be, you know, mindful of the other people around us, how our behaviour affects other people, and knowing that other people's behaviour is not truly who they are, and we're not to judge them. We're not to take on what they do and make it affect us. Let's be secure and safe in ourselves. Let's look after our own well-being, and then we're there to help others. So please beware, please be mindful, and please take good care of yourself and each other. And until next time, peace out. Namaste.